Hello, good morning.
Well, it's morning here.
And I trust
Yeah.
it's morning where you are. If not,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us. It's Anthony and Cheryl
Mm.
from Faith 5 Fellowship of Ministries. And we're so happy to be back with you again this week. The last time we did a part one and I think on a part two, and it was just talking about making room for God.
Yes.
Well, we just want to continue
Yes.
on, as we make room for God. This is trusting God. And there's some things that we tend to get into when we say we're trusting God. So thank you for joining us. And we're looking forward to either see you online or see you in person of September 30th.
Wow.
Between 5:30 and 7:30. We will be at 162 Roslyn Avenue East in Ajax. What am I talking about? Celebrating 20 plus years in the Durham region in Canada, Ontario. So I wanted to say that off the outset because someone got cut off the last time.
Yes.
So Anthony, over to you.
Well, it's a great time to be alive, to see God's hand move in our lives.
Yeah.
It's not that situation is not there, but God is more than enough.
Yes.
And I found out that it is in my most challenging times then the revelation of who God is to me, in me, and around me comes up. And so really we've been talking in our fellowship about the benefits of trusting God. And one of the benefits of trusting God is that you shift the battle from yourself to Him.
Yes.
When you trust God with all your heart and with all your soul and lean upon your own understanding, you begin to realize that you're never going to be able to walk out the fullness of God's plan in your own strength, in your own wisdom, in your own understanding. And I think this is one of the lessons that the children of Israel had to learn when they were leaving out of Egypt and coming into the promised land. They had to learn a principle, is that they're going to face enemies. You're going to have needs in your life that you're not going to be able to solve without you putting trust in God.
So are you saying in this trusting that we have to obey?
Yes.
Trust and obey. We have to obey God.
Yes.
And to obey God, we need to know God. And in knowing God, we need to know His Word. I'm sorry, I just had to put that in there.
Yeah.
Yes. Be obedient.
It's amazing that God will let you walk to a situation where you see that there is no way out. The Israelites were led by the Spirit of God, just not by Moses. Moses, he led them to a pathway that had mountains on one side and the ocean or the lake of the Red Sea. It's a sea out there in front of you. Not a little river, a sea out there. And something was going to happen that's never been happened before. Yes. But it leads you to a pathway that you never had before, because the principle of trusting God and obeying.
Yes.
In Exodus, He says to them, be still. How do I be still when there is phone calls, email, texts? How do I trust God when my body is screaming out in pain? How do I trust God and be still? You know, one of the hardest lessons I've learned in my walk with God is to be still. I'm not a still person. I got so many things and so many solutions, ways to do things. Yes. We live in a world where there is more knowledge, but less being still.
Yes. Yes.
And they said, and God said, be still. And so be still is one of the first lessons. You have to calm your mind, calm your emotions, calm everything about you, and just be still.
Yes.
That's obedience. And you shift the battle from you to the Lord.
Wow. Wow.
It's a basic principle that needs to be learned early.
Yes.
Because if I can't shift it from me, and you start saying things like this, God's going to make a way. I don't know how, but God's going to provide. Your mouth, your confessions shift.
Yes.
Your mindset shift.
Yes.
You stop looking at the situation and begin to see how God is going to come through.
And not even how God's going to come through, but more so how you're learning more about Him. So in being still, we are going to seek to infiltrate, hear the word I'm using, your mind now with other thoughts, with information from the Word of God. You're going to inform your soul with what the Spirit of God is communicating to you as you're being still.
You see, the challenge is that we think the battle is about us.
Yes.
Somebody with preachers telling you that you must go forth and do this and conquer and conquer. The realization is that if he is not in charge,
wow,
if he is not the one that is battling, because if God is in you, the battle is about the God in you. Not you, the God in you is going to have victory.
Yes.
And take you along to be part of what God is doing inside. Israel had to learn the lesson that you'll never be strong enough to face your enemy, but the God in you is more than enough.
That's right.
But for him to come out, you have to be still.
That's right.
This is the hard part, to be still and shift the emphasis from me to God. And let God, who owns the cattle upon the 1,000 hills,
yes,
God who is the God of the universe,
yes,
God who is mighty than the enemy, mighty than any works of darkness, nothing can stand in his presence or defeat him. He begins to move on my behalf and your behalf. Because we trust God, we be still before God, and we recognize that the battle you're facing right now belongs to the Lord.
That's a good one. As you were talking, this song came to mind. I may just be able to sing one line or two out of it. It's How Big is God? How big is God?
Amen.
How big and wide his vast domain. To try to tell, these lips can only start. He's big enough to live within this universe, yet small enough to dwell within my heart. He's in your heart today.
Yes.
Allow him to lead you by the Spirit as you learn to be still and walk in obedience before him.
Bless you.
Great to see you.
Yes.
And we just want to hear your comments.
Yes.
Remember to subscribe and share.
Yes, and share it.
If this was a blessing to you. So we hope to see you later this week.
Yeah.
No, more than likely it was going to be next week. So bless you.
All
and
right.
bye.
Bye.